We need to come together as human beings to outsmart the mosquito. We have over 260 million people that suffer from malaria annually. It still hits the most vulnerable people of the population, so children under 5 and pregnant women. The RBM Partnership to End Malaria is a partnership with over 500 organizations. Within the partnership, we have various structures, and one of them is the Vector Control Working Group. Today, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary. We celebrate their courage, we celebrate their resilience, we celebrate their innovation, and they've really been an integral part of the partnership and in driving down many cases.
If we look at the range of countries which have achieved malaria elimination over the course of the last 20 years or so, all of them have achieved that with a foundation of vector control being part of the prevention program.
Without mosquito control, diseases would surge, economies would weaken, and millions of lives would be at risk.
That's why at the Vector Control Working Group, we committed ourselves to fight against malaria and have a world free of malaria.
Vector Control Working Group was founded in 2005 under the name of WIN, that stands for Working Group on Insecticide-Treated Bed Nets. Its aim was the insecticide-treated bed nets as a vital tool to fight malaria. Vector control topics, they have been evolving, so we needed something to represent all of those, not only the bed nets. From 70 members that we had back then, now we have over 2,000 people.
The role of the Vector Control Working Group is to bring different organizations that fund malaria control. We do this through convening meetings, through workshops, and making sure that different groups can interact with one another and come up with a better strategy to improve vector control.
Funding on malaria prevention has had a profound impact over the last 20 years and led to significant reductions in cases and deaths.
Continued funding in the area of both operation and implementation, as well as investing in new innovations, is going to be extremely important. It is indeed extremely important.
Despite being a complex disease, we at the Vector Control Working Group believe that we can eliminate malaria in our lifetime. Some of the success we can attribute to vector control include the global decline of malaria.
75% of this success has been attributed to the large-scale implementation of effective vector control interventions like insecticide-treated nets and indoor residual spraying. I do think that an ultimate goal of a malaria-free world is very possible, and we have what it takes to achieve it.
Being part of Vector Control Working Group is very helpful. It provides me many resources for rational decision making as far as vector control is concerned.
There's a lot of capacity building, there's a lot of coordination, there's a lot of research that is happening out there. So being part of the Vector Control Working Group gives us an opportunity to tap into that resource basket as we develop our malaria vector control strategies.
While there have been major successes for malaria, we are also faced with major challenges. One important one is the development of vector resistance to the insecticides that are used in vector control tools.
There are some very exciting new innovations that include genetic-based vector control technologies. One is mosquito population suppression and the other is mosquito population replacement. And so those new approaches have an enormous potential, and combined with other approaches that we have today and newer approaches that are under development, we will be able to go a very long way to reach malaria in very difficult places and provide more equitable solutions than the ones we have today.
We have lost so much life to malaria, and that is non-acceptable.
Malaria is a global issue and demands everyone's contribution.
I hope for the future that we'll have more tools, more innovations towards vector control, more funding to support our malaria control programs so that we can have a malaria-free world.
The mosquito continues to evolve on a daily basis, and the longer we wait, the harder it is to fight. It's a time for us to reflect, to say what else can we do in the next 5 years? What is the big push that is needed for us to move more countries towards elimination, towards eradication?